This is like every video. In this video today, you're gonna learn how I got to 10% body fat only working out 3 hours per week. What's happening, guys? I'm Marcus Wolf, and if you're new to this channel and you're a busy guy looking for a fat loss solution to support your busy life, smash that subscribe button because these videos are 100% for you. Let's go. All right, guys, so I'm gonna talk about how I got to 10% body fat, bing, only working out 3 hours per week. Look, this is a picture of me in April, bing, and this is me probably around 15% body fat. Okay, so prior to this, I've been to 10% body fat before. The only major difference though is I used to train way more, right? So when I was in my 20s, of course I was working out more. I was single, in and out of jobs. I had time to like live in the gym. So 5-6 days a week, 2-hour minimum, no problem. I was living in the gym, right? I was working out like a crazy person to get to 10% body fat. And I got to 10% body fat doing that, but there was one huge difference to now. I couldn't sustain that. Working out 5-6 days a week even back then and sustain that 10% body fat just never mixed. Now, I'm a busy dad who doesn't have as much time on his hand, but I still wanna have that 10% body fat goal. So I decided I was gonna try doing it, working out only 3 days a week for 1 hour. Look, I even had my doubts that working out only 3 hours a week was gonna push me to that 10% body fat. But look at this, it actually made the easiest fat loss I've ever been into. Ever. So you're probably asking yourself, why do you only work out 3 days a week? Well, 1, I'm a dad now. I got 2 beautiful daughters. 2, I'm starting my own business. 3, I also have a broke ass kidney, and I'll save that for another YouTube video, but that's pretty much the reason why I only work out 3 days a week. So honestly, working out only 3 days a week wasn't exactly my choice, but now, after how easy it is to get to 10% body fat, I'm not turning back. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm actually gonna share exactly what I do in my 3 hours a week. So if you're somebody who's working out maybe even more, 4, 5, 6 days a week, hours of cardio or hours in the gym, pumping out the weights, and you still can't seem to get past that point where you can start seeing your abs and your fat loss, I'm gonna hook you up. All right, so the first thing I do, which was something I never used to do when I used to work out in my 20s, is I do full body workouts. Because look, if you only got 3 hours a week, there's no way you have enough time to like split up 1 day chest, 1 day back, 1 day arms, whatever. You know what I mean? So I smash every single like major body part in that workout. And when I train them, I also do them in either like a superset or like tri-set. That's where you just do like an exercise one after another and after another. Look, I do it like this because the thing is then I can smash a whole bunch of volume in that 1 hour, and by the time the workout's done, I'm sweating. So I'm not saying that full body is better than splits. I mean, I personally dig them more, but I'm just saying that because of that fashion of time I have, you gotta just say to yourself, that's all I could do, so I had to do it that way. So that's how I dealt with my workouts. Now, how I dealt with my eating. So I used to count calories for like 8+ years, but then I stopped months prior to starting this fat loss because I was really just sick of it, to be honest. It didn't get me to that 10% body fat and sustain it, right? So again, I could probably talk about this in the future, but pretty much all I'm saying is calorie counting wasn't really my jam anymore, and I want to find a different solution. So the only thing different I have been doing to finally get to this 10% body fat is just to eliminate my food intake slowly, week to week. Now, that could be from carbs, that could be from fats. Either way, I was just kind of like really process of elimination, getting rid of foods here and there. And the results show. And the third thing that I added that I never used to do in my 20s was I just moved every single day. Like my steps were on par, I never missed them. I rarely ever got to like 10,000, but I was always within that like 5,000, 7,000 steps a day. And like, you know, slowly I would even increase my steps if possible. I was even being kind of creative with my activity every single day. Like it was very simple stuff that anybody could do. It's just kind of like walking and like cleaning the house, doing some gardening. I just thought it was like an easy way to knock off 2 birds with 1 stone. I got the gardening done, I got my deck cleaned, and I'm also gonna, you know, shed off some fat. So you're probably looking at all this stuff and being like, yo, dude, you're full of shit. All of that stuff you just said is basic B stuff. Like, you work out full body, you lower your food intake, and you walk, and you're trying to tell me that I'm gonna get the 10% body fat just by doing that? So listen, I'm just gonna give you my theories right now on why this was even possible, right? So my first theory is, when I used to work out 5-6 days a week, you know, once you get to that like 10, 12 week mark in your fat loss, your energy levels absolutely plummet. And what happens when you wake up and your energy level's already shit? And what happens when your energy level's like terrible throughout the day? You start relying on like caffeine pills, pre-workouts, energy drinks. You're just guzzling these things back, and it's all fake energy. And then also, when you're super low on energy, think back to like when you're, finished work on a Friday night. What do you usually do? You really want to aim for like that comfort beer, that comfort burger, some sort of sweets, just to kind of like, make up for that terrible week you just had. But now imagine having that every single day. You just want to have comfort food because you haven't been having it for a long time, but also just because you just want to get out of the state you're in. So when I was working out 5-6 days a week, I could not sustain dealing with that low energy. So then eventually I was just kind of like, forget about it. I'm just gonna eat that burger. I'm gonna get off this diet. I wanna feel energetic. And then there goes my 10% body fat. Then there's theory number 2. Again, around that 10 to 12 week mark in a fat loss, your energy levels start to dip and your hunger starts to go up, right? So because you've been neglecting food essentially, you've been malnourishing your body, and what happens when that terrible hunger starts like really kicking in? You're gonna start wanting to snack here, and you're gonna start wanting to overeat there. I remember one time when I was still living at my parents' place and I was at 10% body fat, absolutely drained of energy, absolutely starving. I was so desperate for just flavor again that I barged into their kitchen, grabbed some celery, put some mustard on that, and ate that before going to bed, just because I was just trying to find something to suppress my hunger. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that, and obviously I couldn't sustain doing that to a point where I can't even really eat mustard and celery the same ever again. So it's one of those type of things where 5 to 6 days a week of working out just caused my energy levels to plummet, my hunger levels to increase, to the point where there's no way I could have sustained it. Now, we fast forward to today. I'm working out only 3 days a week. I'm not dealing with those energy crashes. I'm not dealing with those hunger levels. I'm actually able to prolong my fat loss without worrying about the things that used to prevent my fat loss. It's one of those type of things where now I can see what I did wrong in the past. I'm able to prolong my fat loss, which is allowing me to slowly get to that 10% body fat. Because don't get me wrong, any of you guys out there, maybe you like professionals or like your keyboard warriors are gonna be like, well, 4, 5, 6 days a week is totally better than 3 days a week. Hey, and I totally agree. If I was working out 4, 5, 6 days a week, I'd probably get to 10% body fat faster. But the problem though is that same hunger and energy that I used to have to deal with would come creeping back, or when I work out only 3 days a week, that energy and hunger is totally easy to take care of, which makes me just have to wait for this to happen, and I'm at 10% body fat. Now, there are a few little tricks that I've added to my toolbox along the way. I mean, hunger is gonna come unavoidably during a fat loss. You just can't. So one of the things I started to do was I created this thing called portion anchoring. It's essentially where you just eat certain foods in a certain way that are gonna tell your stomach to trick your brain into thinking you're full, while still getting the nutrients you need for a fat loss. This is like absolutely critical, because the thing is, if hunger is gonna come, you still need to just do these little tricks to make sure that hunger is prolonged throughout the day, because it can be the difference between being hungry 2 hours between meals or 3 or 4, and that 3 or 4 hours is where you're able to kind of like, go along with your day and not overeat or snack. That's really important stuff. Now, if you wanna learn these portion anchoring techniques, I only teach them to my private clients. So there's a link below if you're interested in that, so I can help you out with your fat loss, and I can coach you to 10% body fat, or even just get, back into that medium t-shirt. But yeah, quick little recap. Full body workouts done in a fashion where exercise is paired together, limited rest time, you're sweating after 60 minutes, lowering your food intake, and then eventually using things like walking and moving around every single day to make sure that you burn off all that excess calories. And typically, if you're a busy guy like me, that 2-in-1 type of thing where, you take care of like the dishes, you take care of the backyard, you take care of whatever, and you're still able to burn some fat while you're doing it. And now, while you're taking care of those 3 things, just make sure your energy levels are good, just make sure your hunger levels are sustained, and you'll get to 10% body fat. And like I said, if you needed any help, the link below, you can book a consultation with me and become my next transformation client. So listen, if you like this video, smash that like button, share this with anybody you think is gonna really wanna hear this type of information. Because look, this is all for that busy guy who's finally looking to shed off that weight and just start fitting into the clothes like he did in his 20s. Let's do it. Thanks for watching me. Okay, I'll be totally honest. I don't even know if this is exactly 10% body fat. It's as close as I could say 10% body fat is. Don't put that in the video. Fuck, don't put that in the video, Lee. Ugh. I don't know, it's like pretty close to 10% body fat. Don't you want this? Right? I want this.